So, welcome, Aaron. Thank you for taking your time out of your day today to talk about your experience of implementing the ARC system in your life and in your marriage. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Good, thank you.
Awesome, man. So let's start off with you giving us a little bit of context first. Could you please explain like a little bit of what was going on in your marriage before you enrolled in the ARC system?
So yeah, it was best part of a year ago. Obviously, my wife turned around and said that she was done. She checked out. She didn't love me anymore, and bits and pieces. Um, we then sort of tried to fix things. Went through the normal channels, therapy, the bits and pieces, which sort of short term helped. It sort of made a little bit of a difference short term. Um, but I think it, like I said, I think it was more of a plaster on a arterial bleed for the main core issues. We had sort of a joint business together as well, which we folded, which put a massive strain. It was sort of my baby that I'd been doing for 20 odd years. And it got to a point, yeah, she was obviously struggling to find that connection. I was very shut off, very focused, just trying to on work, not paying attention, not having. I was just completely emotionally unavailable, and with everything else that was going on, I completely became really needy, very desperate, and just needed that support, which obviously added more pressure to us. And yeah, it just sort of really hit a low spot, and couldn't really see a way out, and felt completely sort of on the floor and really worthless in myself being, really.
Gotcha. And what have you tried at that point then, Aaron, to reconcile to solve the problem? So you said therapy. Had you what else? What other kind of tactics have you tried to apply to get Gemma to come back into the marriage?
Yeah, so we did all the whole marriage counselling. So you have all their little techniques of love languages and little plans and bits and pieces that can do that. I think you took with it though, looking back on it now, turned much into a pleaser, trying to sort of do everything to make her happy, to please her with everything at my own detriment to a degree, which looking back now only sort of spirals you further down the rabbit hole that you're already feeling.
I gotcha. Okay. So that was kind of the situation as you were coming into the program. So as you're at the door of coming into the ARC system, can you give me like a little bit of insight and share with me, were there any hesitations before making the decision to go into the ARC system?
Oh, of course there is. Of course there is. I'll be brutally honest. I think even quite a way into the program, I was still looking for sort of a silver bullet answer to, that you see them all pop up. Oh, we can get your ex back in 2 weeks. Or send this text message and do this and say that. And yeah, I think there was such a massive point that I was still looking for that, and even quite a way into the program. So there's a massive hesitation of, would this work? Would it be enough? Can I do it? There's obviously the hesitation with the finance side of things. There's always, the stigma, the sounds bad, but the umbrella sort of pyramid scheme type selling things. And yeah, there's a lot of doubt that goes into it, a lot of doubt, and a lot of that is, I think, self-belief to a degree as well, and social sort of viewings on this type of thing as well.
Okay. So it sounds like you had a lot of stuff going on and you went for it. So that leads me on to the next question. So what made you choose to then work with me and to go in and apply the ARC system?
I had a sort of conversation with quite a few, spoke to sort of a few of these pop up, we'll fix this for you instantly avenues. Whereas with you, it seemed a lot more genuine, a lot more caring, a lot more personal, a lot more honest. If that makes sense, it didn't. I didn't think you were there just to literally take my money and not give a shit, and it just be the normal script that come out from it, sort of thing. It seemed a little bit more tailored, a little bit more personal, and you sold a belief, you sold a vision, really, with it, rather than just the avenue of, we want your money, send this text message, and everyone will come running back, and your life will be perfect type avenue.
Yeah, this bullshit, like the silver bullet, quick fix. There's no such thing. It takes hard work, right, brother?
Oh, yeah, done it just.
All right, man. So let's get into your experience of implementing the ARC system. So share with us, like, what has your experience been since you enrolled in the program and the sessions?
Very mixed bag, I think, for me. As you'll know, I've had a bit of a roller coaster with it. Um, I think to start off with, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of worry, there's more self doubt, I think, than anything else, and finding that true belief in you and that you are good enough. I mean, as you'll know, for me, for ages, had that self confidence and self belief issue that
Sure.
I couldn't do it. It wouldn't make any difference, and you start really relying and looking for that trigger that you're on the right path from external sources. You're looking for that reinforcement that you're doing the right thing and it's working. And I think for me, it wasn't until I stopped caring about looking for that the changes really happened.
Yeah, man. And those changes have been huge. So why don't you share a little bit then about those changes? So what have you been experiencing? What amazing changes have you been experiencing over these last few weeks and months?
For me, it's my connection with the kids. If I look back on everything in doing this system, it's the connection I now have with my kids. Over everything else, I would have done this just for what I'm getting from them. In what we learn, how the, for the use of a better term, the brain training, the new way of approaching things, the new way of listening. God, getting me a bit emotional thinking about it, but it's opened your avenue. You hear, you see them, and in the connection you get from that is unreal. You know, it's a massively deeper bond and everything else, and that transpires across everything. You know, through interactions with somebody in a petrol station, you know, somebody in the corner shop. It just it enforces everything in your life, really. And obviously, on the flip side of that, in those little snippet interactions, step by step, that worthlessness, that self belief slowly starts climbing back up, and you can feel your confidence growing and growing. And you know, you feel that you can see in. I think it was my best mate actually who said something to me right back in the early stages of the program. And it wasn't until I started really leaning into the system, really leaning into the program, and he sort of turned around and went, "You're completely different to who you were." He goes, "It's, you know, the difference in you now." He goes, "There's no way we would have spoken about stuff like this. You never used to be as open as this. You were always very closed off, very guarded." And I mean, this is coming from sort of the building site mentality of bloke workers, you know, who never, if you're not taking the piss and swearing at each other, you're not really getting on. But yeah, just that interaction of 20 odd years of being my best mate, we've never got to that stage. And after doing this program, it was there, you know. Yeah, the benefits outweigh everything that any doubt that I ever had with it, so, for sure.
Wonderful, man. Okay. And can you share with me then, like, if you could give yourself, because you're a few months, you know, a good few months into the program now, if you could go back to the Arron that was sitting on the outside of the program, hadn't yet invested in himself and stepped up to do the work to go and save his marriage and become this strong, magnetic, independent man, what would be the three things now that, as I call you now in the program, as your real name, but obviously for this interview, Arron, so what would be what would be the advice you would give to Arron, who's looking into this program, the three things that are good would help him, you know, make progress really, really fast, even faster?
Belief in yourself and in what you're doing. Refocusing the reason why. If you're still on that fence of looking for that silver bullet, it's going to slow you. If you're then looking at this to make yourself the best that you can be, or put you on the path to be better, it will massively help. Third, relax with it. Don't pile the pressure on yourself. It's going to be a rocky road. Christ, I mean, well, we both know where, like I said, that roller coaster that I was on with it all. And until you sort of take a step back on with yourself and stop trying to push and push and push yourself and just let it happen, and it just takes time, but it does, yeah. So I think, yeah, relax, belief, and that sort of doing it for you and no one else but you.
Yeah, and brother, I'm so proud of you. Like, we've been through this together, and then it's the gift I get working with all you guys. Seeing when you came in and how far you've come along, man. It's been, like you said, it was a bit of a bumpy road at the beginning, but to see the way you're showing up now, man, and the life that you're living now, and all the gains that you're getting is just it's wonderful, and you're an inspiration for the other men in the group because even with the challenges, you kept picking yourself up, kept moving forward, man. So with all that being said, what do you feel like? Because this interview is done as obviously as you're still in the program, we aren't finished just yet. But I like because you're doing so amazing, brother. I'd like to share your story because it's inspirational for other men. Now, maybe share, just as we wrap up this interview, what do you think have been the main benefits toward with Gemma, with your wife? Because I remember when you came into the program, you were just like, Luke, I just want to be able to have deep conversations with her because you felt disconnected and you weren't able to communicate with her effectively. You know, what have been the benefits there of learning the different frameworks, of going to becoming a master with your emotions, a master with your mindset, a master with your confidence, and a master in your communication skills? What have been the benefits in your marriage, man? How are things changed?
Have they changed? The conversations, when we do have them, are a lot more placid. They're a lot more even keeled. They're not necessarily being ranted at. They're not being talked down to. Some of them are heated, you know, and there's obviously a lot of emotion still behind all that. But they're now both coming from an even level. You know, you don't feel like you're getting talked down to. You don't feel like you're the one that's in the wrong. You don't feel like you're the one that's caused it. The strength the program gives you just in your self-belief, because you've got the tools to be able to navigate anything that comes up. You know, you're two individuals, there's going to be that ruffling of feathers, there's going to be friction, there's going to be a little bit of butting heads at time, but you're getting the tools to understand where that's coming from, analyze that, and come at it from a different way, understand what is actually being said to you rather than just taking the superficial level and getting a chew on about it or getting defensive about it. Yeah, it's going in the right direction for me at the moment. I think it's going in the right direction.
It certainly is, man. We should definitely not downplay it, how far you've come, man, and how you're like showing up. So when you came in, right, we talk about the power dynamic, right? She's up here, you're down here, you're trying to please her, please, 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 and she's just like getting angry with you, blaming you. And you, brother, you've now so now that balance of power, that dynamic is now, and it was a rocky ride, right? By having to raise the level in the relationship, right? But now you're starting to see with these conversations, now there's space for her to come back in. Now there's space to create a new, more intimate marriage with more respect. It's been, I know you've had a bumpy ride along the way, man, but you've followed it. Like, you trusted in the system, you went and implemented it, and now you're starting to reap all the rewards, right?
Yeah, no, it is. And it is. I think it's also, it opens your horizons a little bit as well. You know, that self-confidence gain, that loss of neediness, if you like, it's very empowering. It gives you feel in control of your life with it. You know, where this path's going to take me at the moment, I'm not sure, but I'm not worried about it either. You know,
but about the future, do you feel hopeful about the future? Or are you worried like when you're coming in now?
Oh, definitely hopeful. Definitely hopeful. I think a lot of that is that self-confidence, that masculine growth, that self-masculine control that you completely lost. You know, at the start of all these programs, and it comes back and you feel like you're the master of your own destiny again. You know, you're in control of whatever decision you're going to make.
Arron. You are, and I'm so proud of you, brother. Really, I'm so proud of you. when I look at before Christmas where you're at and this, where you literally are the master of your own destiny now and you're feeling things coming together. It's wonderful, brother. So finally, for somebody that's watching this interview with you, Arron, and is wondering, okay, should I go and invest myself? Should I invest in this system? They want to go save their marriage and they're on the fence. Should I go for it? What's your opinion? What would you say to them?
Yes, is the bottom line of that. I think the key is realizing why you're doing it. It's very easy. There's 101 things that you can do to save your marriage with what's out there. But not only does this help you along that way, but it's more your self-development, your personal development. You're not investing in your marriage as such. You're investing in you. That's going to transpire across your whole life, not just the marriage. It's your work, your friends, your family. It's a lot more than just saving your marriage. That will happen as a byproduct of what you're doing to improve yourself.
Yeah. All right, Arron. Thank you so much for taking the time out today to share your testimony. Like I said, we're not finished, brother. Onwards and upwards, as you like to say, and I've definitely taken that on with you, man. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in the program, brother. You're a blessing, and I look forward to continue working with you and seeing how far we're going to go. And I look forward to having an update in another couple of months to just see all the other amazing results that are coming your way, brother. Thanks for your time today.
Look forward to it.
Lots of love, brother. Bye.
Cheers, Luke. Bye-bye.